little boy, the girl was totally normal, but the little boy was almost like a vegetable when she brought him in and handed him to me. And I said, what's happening? What's going on? And she was crying. And she said, they told me at the hospital after they delivered him, that he must have had a stroke at birth, and that I should put him in an institution. And he was about 2 months old when she brought him in. He wasn't able to eat. He hardly cried. He was not responding to his environment. His head was tilted to the side, and he just kind of gazed off in the distance. And she took this little child, and she went like this, here, do something. And it was a very humbling moment, because in chiropractic, primarily, we deal with people that you can relate to, and they can talk to you, and usually adults from all ages. But this little child was 2 years old. When she handed me that child and put it in my hands, I just started crying, and I said, Lord, what do you want me to do with this little child? And I got the message, well, he's got a spine, he's got a nervous system. And I knew from evaluating the child, but just looking at it, that it was not a stroke. He did not have a stroke, and I knew that they damaged his spine and his upper neck during his birth process. And that happens so much when they take a hold of the head and they turn his head and they want to help it to come out of the birth canal, that they damage the upper neck, and all the energy that comes from the brain comes down the spinal cord, goes through the area of the first and second cervical vertebrae. And the little boy had torticollis. He couldn't lift his head. He couldn't move his head out of this position. And so after the experience of the humility I felt and the helplessness that I felt at first, I got this surge of power that everybody has a spine and a nervous system, and all the energy of God and in the universe is in that spine and that energy and that nervous system. And I started adjusting this little boy very gently, the neck, the mid-back, and all the areas that I found. And I gave it back to the mother, and she took him home. She brought him back the next day, and she was elated. She said he was able to pick his head up, and he started looking at her and then responding to his environment. And it was just a week or two that I treated him, that she saw, and we all saw, this wonderful change of a little boy that was called to be a vegetable by the medical profession and asked to be put in an institution, started changing in front of our very eyes, because we changed the energy and the nerve flow from the brain down into the body, and we released the interference that little body could express itself, and was then able to start eating, and he started crying, and he started sleeping better, and he evolved into a perfectly normal little human being because of the power of chiropractic. And if there's anybody out there that has never experienced chiropractic, or the power of the innate intelligence that made the body, that makes our body function and live, then they do not realize that chiropractors are tools of God to remove the interference in that nervous system, to allow free expression of life, and remove the interference so people can express themselves fully and be healthy and live a better quality of life. But it was a very humbling experience. It was a great gift to me that I could be a tool to be used to restore a life and to assure that that person had a healthy, normal life. And today he must be about 18 years old. I still get Christmas cards and messages from the mother thanking me for what I did to their family. So to me, in all the years I have practiced and treated patients from in their 90s to little tiny babies, or sometimes right the day after they're born, that for me truly was the most miraculous story of life, and the power of life, and the power of an adjustment. And so I'm grateful for having my destiny having led me from Germany, from a small town of not speaking the German language, to come to the United States, to go through chiropractic college, to experience the awesome connection at Parker seminars and with all the other doctors from around the world, and to realize that we have a purpose, and we're put here on this earth with a mission, and we're giving a talent, and we're giving a job to do, that once we find that and we get in tune with that, then we're in tune with the universe,